Famke, hi.
Hi, Angie.
Thank you for agreeing to talk with me today about critical creativity and how you use critical creativity in your practice.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, can we start by you telling us what critical creativity means to you?
Yeah, I think that's an important question to start off.
Yeah.
For me, critical creativity means a lot to me, not only in my professional life as being a researcher or a teacher, but even in my personal life.
Yes.
I started being introduced to critical creativity in my PhD, actually working with you and with some others, and I think become very meaningful for me because it was a way of communicating together and coming to some kind of a shared language together. It was particular that I used critical creativity at times where I find things difficult to articulate or to explain to you, or actually. So it is a way of surfacing knowledge or even ways I knew but I find hard to articulate or hard to bring up to the surface.
Yes.
So it has both sides. It's a way of bringing up new knowledge to the surface, but as well as coming to speak a common language to someone else that actually has a different language themselves, not even talking because you are English and I was Dutch, but it's because of we were talking different discourses, I think.
Yes, yes. We certainly were at the beginning of the
Absolutely, yeah,
PhD.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just newly introduced to practice development and to action research, and I used my own vocabulary and my own discourse around it. And you, of course, have many more experience in that field of work, and when we were introduced to different words, and they had different meanings to me, and that actually created some kind of a distance between the two of us. And by the time we actually introduced the critical creativity, I felt we came closer, and we actually achieved some kind of equity. But in our relationship, being a student and a supervisor in that perspective.
Yes.
So for me, it's really, really meaningful in the research, but I'm even using it in my teaching within master students or even in bachelor students, helping them to make sense of what they experience in practice, but as well making sense of data they collected for their research projects and stuff like that, which is quite challenging for most of the students to actually reach that different level of abstraction and to find words for it.
Yes.
So I introduced some kind of critical creativity in that as well, and I got really, really positive feedback about it.
That's fantastic.
As they don't feel they're really doing hard abstract research, but they feel as a way of communicating as well, and putting words to something and trying to get meaning out of it. And so that's actually in the teaching, which I find quite useful. But even in my personal life, I'm using critical creativity. It's not that I'm always doing workshop or anything, but particularly when there are difficult stuff going on in your relationships, or being a mum of children, things going on in life. I think what I see around me is really helpful in making sense of what's happening to me. And maybe it does relate to mindfulness, I'm not sure. It does have a link, I think, in terms of being aware and being open for new insights and what's happening around you. And for me, nature has been very informative to me. So I've found that as well, kind of critical creativity. Just walking in the woods, just going sailing, just going cycling. It's a lot to do. Sorry.
That's great. What happens when you go walking and cycling and sailing? What is it?
It's just looking with different eyes. It's just having a very clear focus where you want to find a solution for, an answer for, new insights for, and just listening. Maybe it's listening in a way of looking at things that trying to say something. It's not in a way of that they literally say something, but that you look at things differently, that probably gives meaning to something you're puzzling with.
Yes.
So, and I feel strongly the problems I have or experience in my research or even in private life or in the teaching, there is some kind of a connection outside there. I do see similar interplay between factors, what I see outside.
Can you give us an example?
You know, for me, the sailing is a very strong metaphor for me, as
Yes.
I'm a sailor myself, and it's all the playing with the wind and the current and holding the lines and trying to get the boat into balance. And that's exactly what I sometimes feel when being in practice or in research. You have to work with the winds around you, all the political games going on, and the undercurrents as well, the culture you feel, and trying to stay in balance with that. But you have to feel the lines, you have to feel the rudder, and you have to work with the crew on the boat as well. They are part of it as well. And I think that's really key in critical creativity as well, is that you don't do it on your own. You can do critical creativity on your own, but you need others or something else to inform you. So it's all about relationship, and not maybe in person to person, but being into relationship with something in nature, or
with the elements.
With the elements, or even in the sailing boat, you just play. You're trying to relate in a different way, and I don't. Maybe it sounds a bit spiritual, but maybe I'm grasping the whole term around spirituality a bit in a way of too religious or something. But I think there is something bigger, and that we are just part of it, and so many similar connections between in smaller relationships, and even what you see outside, or in the way animals communicate with each other, or the way they respond or behave with each other. That's what you see in a microcosmos, as what I see in doing research or working with teams, working with students in a similar way. So so it means an awful lot to me. I'm very grateful being introduced to it, because it's really helped me to look at things in a different way, and to grow, and even to get a better understanding of self and the people around me. So it makes me really act and think in a different way. Yeah.
Wow, you've given me goosebumps.
Yeah, but it's true. It's just it has become really important to me, and the way you're using it is because I think I can say I've embodied the principles now. In the beginning, I knew that it was important because I knew you found it important, and it didn't really come into it. But because we played with it and we experimented with it, I really got a sense, yes, this has something. I do believe in this, and that made me that I can have a wide variety of kinds of creative arts I can use. I normally use imagery and cards because that's really appealing to me, and that's the way it works, and that probably fits into my visual intellectuality. But I'm open to other creative arts as well, and some are not really attracted to me. You know, I'm not someone using the body that much, and I'm not that flexible, or I'm very static. So, but I do value a kind of like body sculpturing or imagery theory, as other people are more appealing to it, and it's nice to experiment with it, and because I live the principles, it opens up a wide variety in the ways you can use critical creativity, and I think it's just wonderful in the way we can use it.
Famke, thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.